You can buy property in Tuscany starting at around 35,000 euros. Real listings, actual properties you can use. And as we go up to 200,000 euros, the differences become more interesting than you might expect. I've pulled 9 properties with prices accurate at the time of this roundup, all located across Tuscany. We're starting at the lowest entry point and working our way up to more complete homes to see what that price increase really gets you. Some are simple apartments, others come with land, views, or more space, but not always in the way you'd assume. We're looking at what you actually get for the money, the condition, the location, and how livable each option really is. Quick context, Tuscany isn't one uniform market. These properties are spread across different areas, from northern valleys to the southern countryside and coastal zones, and that variation plays a big role in pricing. By the time we reach the last 2, the comparison shifts in a way that's worth seeing. Let's get into it. We open at $35,500, 30,000 euros, and I need you to sit with that number for a second, because this is a Tuscan property for $35,000. A classic apartment in Bagni di Lucca, a thermal spa town in the Lucca Hills, set across multiple levels of a historic village building with an original stone staircase as your daily entrance, worn smooth in places from decades of use and slightly cool to the touch even in summer. That staircase is not a detail. It sets the whole tone. The apartment sits on the 2nd floor. Entrance hall, kitchen, 2 bedrooms, with the rooms arranged in a way that reflects the building's age. Slightly irregular but functional, with thick walls that naturally regulate temperature. On the mezzanine floor, a bathroom with a balcony overlooking the Lima River, where the sound of moving water becomes part of the background of daily life. Keep going up and there's a storage room that opens onto a roof terrace with views of terracotta rooftops, chimneys, and the layered hills beyond, especially warm in the late afternoon light. The total surface area is approximately 70 square meters, about 753 square feet, spread across these levels. And while the listing doesn't specify recent renovations, the price already tells you this is an entry point, a canvas, a starting place, rather than a finished home, likely requiring updates to finishes, systems, and layout optimization over time. What it absolutely is a genuine Tuscan village address with a river view and a rooftop at a number that most people simply don't believe is real until they're looking at it. And the best part is, Bagni di Lucca sits in the Lucca Hills with thermal baths, real village life, small local shops within walking distance, and easy access to one of the most beautiful walled cities in Italy, meaning this isn't a remote outpost, it's a connected address at an unconnected price. Listings at this level move extremely fast, but the ladder starts climbing immediately because the next one is fully renovated. Beam ceilings, terracotta floors, wood-burning stove, and the work is already done. $152,000, 129,000 euros. A rustic apartment in Terriciola, in the rolling Pisan hills between Pisa and Volterra. Proper wine and olive oil country, where the landscape outside the window comes standard with vineyards, olive groves, and soft hills stretching into the distance. This is on the 2nd floor of a renovated complex, approximately 60 square meters, about 646 square feet, and the listing describes it as fully renovated with beautiful beam and joist ceilings, terracotta flooring that holds warmth underfoot, double glazed windows that soften outside noise while keeping interiors comfortable, and air conditioning. That vocabulary, beams, terracotta, double glazing, AC, is the renovation checklist buyers want to see, and because it means the character is intact and the comfort is modern. Inside, a kitchen dining area with a new induction hob, compact but efficiently laid out, 2 steps up to a living area with a functioning wood-burning stove that becomes a natural focal point in colder months, a bathroom with shower finished in clean, practical materials, and a spacious double bedroom with enough room for storage and natural light filtering through traditional style windows. No major renovations as listed. Move in, light the stove on a November evening, open the windows in May, and understand immediately why people make decisions like this. And the best part is, Terriciola is the kind of Pisan Hills address that sits just far enough from the tourist circuit to keep the prices honest, while being close enough to Volterra, the coast, and Pisa Airport to make the practicalities work, with local roads connecting small villages and everyday services within short driving distance. New leader on quality. But the next one shifts the visual register entirely. We're going to Serrano, and nothing else on this list looks like Serrano. Quick Tuscany fact. The region averages over 2,700 hours of sunshine per year. The summers are warm and dry, the autumn is extraordinary. Harvest season, light, food markets, and the winters are mild enough that a wood-burning stove and a decent coat handle everything comfortably. This is a year-round life, not a seasonal one. $176,700. 150,000 euros, a charming townhouse in Serrano, and Serrano stops people mid-sentence when they see it for the first time. It's a tufa stone cliff town in the Maremma, in the Grosseto province of southern Tuscany, built directly into volcanic rock above a river gorge, Etruscan in origin, medieval in character, and almost entirely unknown to the international market, with narrow passages, archways, and layered stone facades that feel integrated into the landscape itself. The property is spread across 2 levels with dynamic interior volumes and authentic finishes according to the listing, including exposed stone elements and traditional construction details. Ground floor, main entrance into a living area with built-in kitchenette and a service bathroom. Compact but functional, with thick stone walls that maintain a stable interior temperature. Upper floor, accessible both internally and through a second independent entrance at the rear, already an unusual and useful feature for flexibility or guest access, with a bright living room and study benefiting from elevated positioning. Master bedroom and a characteristic loft, converted into a small bedroom ideal for guests, tucked under the roofline with a more intimate feel. 2 separate entrances in a tufa stone townhouse on a cliff edge Etruscan village for $176,700. It's not a museum, it's real life. And in Serrano, that life has been going on for over 2,000 years, with daily routines unfolding in a setting that hasn't materially changed in centuries. And the best part is, Serrano's relative obscurity is precisely what protects its character and its prices. This is genuine southern Tuscany before the market fully catches up. The next property, though, changes the category altogether. We're going inside a converted monastery, and there's a fireplace in the living room and city walls outside the window. $188,500, 160,000 euros, a beautiful Tuscan apartment inside an ancient monastery, and the building's provenance earns its own moment. Originally a monastery of cloistered Franciscan nuns of the Third Order, dedicated to St. Catherine of Alexandria. That's the history you step into every time you come home, reflected in thick walls, high ceilings, and architectural symmetry, typical of religious structures. The apartment is on the 2nd floor, entrance to a living room with a fireplace, the window overlooking the city walls with filtered light entering through deep-set openings, an archway through to the kitchen area, maintaining the original structural rhythm, a study, 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, a significant practical upgrade for daily living or hosting, 2 bathrooms in a monastery apartment with a fireplace and city wall views for under $190,000. Now, the listing doesn't specify the town directly, so curator phrasing applies. Verify the precise location and what the city walls belong to before committing, and check the full condition documentation with your geometra. But the architectural features here, the monastery origin, the archway, the fireplace, the city wall view, cannot be manufactured at any price, and the historical classification of the building protects them permanently. And the best part is, solid properties like this one with genuine monastic character and 2 bathrooms under $190,000 are exactly the kind of listing that makes people with real Tuscany knowledge do a double take. The next one takes us to Lunigiana, and the scale jumps to 5 bedrooms with a 2015 renovation, $193,700, 164,500 euros. A stunning rustic home in Cassola in Lunigiana, carefully renovated in 2015 according to the listing. And the numbers here are the whole story. 5 living rooms, 5 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, 1 separate toilet, and a total living area of 200 square meters, 2,153 square feet, distributed across multiple levels with a layout that reflects traditional rural construction. 200 square meters in Lunigiana, renovated within the last decade, for a little less than $194,000. Lunigiana is the northernmost strip of Tuscany, squeezed between the Apennines and the Apuan Alps, where the marble mountains of Carrara are visible on the horizon. Historically connected to Liguria and Emilia-Romagna, as much as to Tuscany, and priced accordingly. Stone villages, medieval castles, chestnut forests, clean mountain air, and the Cinque Terre coast reachable in under an hour. The exterior of this property carries that Lunigiana character, rustic, substantial, honest, with stone facades and a sense of permanence. Inside, 5 living rooms gives you a spatial flexibility that almost nothing else on this list can match. Rooms that work as studios, guest spaces, workrooms, storage, or separate living zones depending on how you configure them, with natural light varying by orientation and floor level. No major renovations as listed. The 2015 date is credible and recent enough to matter, suggesting updated systems in livable condition without immediate structural work. And the best part is, 200 square meters of renovated Tuscan Ligurian countryside is a size to price combination that the more famous parts of Tuscany stopped offering years ago. If you want more finds like this, subscribe, because the next region has properties at prices that genuinely make this look expensive. The next property on today's list, though, shifts to the coast, and we're getting a sea view terrace in a 2010 gated complex. $194,300, 165,000 euros. A cozy apartment in Scarlino, on the Grosseto coast in the southern Maremma. And this is the format shift the list needed. Everything above this point has been inland Tuscany. This one faces the sea. A furnished 44 square meter apartment, about 473 square feet, in a 2010 gated complex with a panoramic terrace, independent entrance and air conditioning, with maintained communal areas and structured access. The listing describes sea views from the terrace, proximity to Falonica, and the marina at Punta Ala, and positions it as ideal for holidays or tourist rental. Now, 44 square meters is compact, and I'll be straight with you. This is described in the listing as a holiday and rental use case, rather than a full-time primary residence, with space efficiency being key. Go and clear about that. But for a coastal Tuscan base with a furnished terrace and sea views, under $195,000 in a maintained 2010 complex, the conversation this starts about short-term rental income is one the inland properties simply can't have, especially given seasonal demand along this stretch of coast. And the best part is Scarlino looks out towards the Tuscan archipelago, with Elba visible on clear days, which is a view that has no equivalent further inland. 2 more inland properties before the list's final 2, which close in opposite directions. One looking at the sea, one looking at the land. Stay with me. $198,500, 168,600 euros. An eco-village apartment in Lucca, and this one earns its place near the top of the list through communal infrastructure that nothing else we've seen today can match. The listing describes beautiful interiors combining traditional Tuscan architecture with stylish contemporary living, surrounded by gardens, terraces, a swimming pool, and communal relaxation areas, designed for shared use but with private residential units integrated into the layout. 4 living rooms and a full bathroom according to the listing. The room count suggests genuine volume, though precise square meterage isn't specified, so verify full documentation before committing, particularly regarding layout distribution and ownership structure. What's clear is the setting. A complex with a pool, gardens, and terraces in the Lucca area, combining historic architectural vocabulary with modern amenity, where outdoor spaces become an extension of the living environment. Lucca itself, the walled Renaissance city with its intact medieval circuit, its bicycle culture, its extraordinary food scene, is the postcode context. And the best part is, a pool and garden community with Lucca as your address, traditional architecture meeting contemporary comfort under $200,000 is a lifestyle package that most buyers don't know exists at this price in northern Tuscany. No major renovations described. Solid property in one of Tuscany's most prestigious northern locations. 2 more. And they both land at the same price, but they couldn't be more different. Always check documents and fees before committing, and prices are as selected at the time of this roundup. $200,100, 170,000 euros. The seaside apartment in Rossignano Solvay on the Etruscan Riviera of the Livorno coast, and this is the coastal closing argument. On the 4th and top floor of a condominium building with an elevator. A practical upgrade over most of the properties on this list, approximately 90 square meters, or about 968 square feet, with 3 panoramic balconies positioned to capture both sea air and inland views. 3 balconies, overlooking both the sea and the Tuscan hills simultaneously, offering different exposures throughout the day. The apartment opens onto a large, bright living area with kitchenette giving direct access to the balconies, allowing light to move through the space. A recently renovated bathroom described as spacious and carefully finished with updated fixtures. And a sleeping area with 2 bedrooms, both with their own balcony access, adding ventilation and outdoor connection. According to the listing, the bathroom renovation is recent and the finish is considered. Top floor, elevator, 3 balconies, sea views, hill views, 2 bedrooms, 90 square meters, for $200,100 on the Tuscan coast. That's the sea argument at its strongest. And if the coast is what you're building your Tuscany life around, this is the property that closes it. But the final entry on this list makes a completely different case. And for a certain kind of buyer, it's the most compelling of all 9. $200,100. 170,000 euros, same price as the seaside apartment, completely different world. A countryside village home in Sorteano, an independent house free on 3 sides, completely renovated according to the listing, with a rustic and cozy atmosphere across 2 levels, likely combining stone structure with updated interiors. Ground floor, kitchen, living room with fireplace, a large pantry cellar suitable for storage, wine, or utility use. First floor, a living room and study, 2 bedrooms, and a study wardrobe, offering flexible interior use depending on lifestyle needs. All utilities present LPG heating, fireplace, and municipal water, meaning functional year-round living. And then the outside, a garden with large agricultural land, fruit trees, and a well, usable for irrigation and reinforcing the property's independence. A well, your own well, fruit trees, agricultural land, a fireplace, a renovated 2-level independent stone house, free on 3 sides, for exactly the same price as the top floor sea view apartment above it. This is not a museum, it's real life. Tuscan countryside life with land, fruit trees, a fireplace in the living room, and a well in the garden, with space to expand into gardening, small-scale agriculture, or simply outdoor living. No major renovations as described. The listing states completely renovated. And the best part is, at $200,300. The question isn't whether this is good value, it's which version of the Tuscan life you're actually after. The sea balcony or the orchard, that's the choice the list ends on. And it's a genuinely good one to have. 9 properties, 1 region. Here's the quick breakdown. If you want the most dramatic entry point in Tuscany, Property 1, Bani de Lucca, roof terrace, river view, $35,500. The door is open, and what you're really buying there is access. Access to a historic village setting, to a slower pace, and to a property you can shape over time into something personal. If you want the best renovation quality in the middle of the price range, Property 2, Turricola, beam ceilings, terracotta floors, wood stove, fully done and ready to live in from day one without needing to plan or budget for immediate upgrades. If you want the most cinematic Tuscan character, Property 3, Sereno, Etruscan cliff town, 2 entrances, loft bedroom, a setting that feels visually distinct even within Tuscany itself. If you want the most scale, Property 5, Casola in Lunigiana, 200 square meters, 5 bedrooms, 2015 renovation, and enough space to adapt the property to different uses over time, whether that's hosting, working, or expanding into something more flexible. If you want coastal sea views with rental logic, Property 6, Scarlino Terrace, or Property 8, Rossignano Solve, 3 balconies, top floor, elevator, both offering that connection to the coast that changes how the property functions seasonally. And if you want land, fruit trees, a fireplace, and an independent renovated stone house in the Tuscan countryside, Property 9, Sorteano, the same price as the seaside apartment and a completely different life, one that leans more towards self-sufficiency, privacy, and long-term use of the land itself. Comment below which one speaks to you, and what's the deciding factor? The sea, the history, the land, or the price? Or is it something less obvious? The flexibility, the renovation potential, the location within Tuscany itself? Subscribe for the next Tuscany deep dive, because there are corners of this region we haven't covered yet, and the prices there start even lower, with opportunities that shift the conversation again in ways most people don't expect. See you there.